welcome to this special meeting of Malahide Council. I'd like to, on September 11th, 2024, I'd like to call the meeting to order at 5:31. Did I say good evening? Yeah, it's a fine line to say when the evening starts for the afternoon. True. So we'll proceed. The first order of business is approval of the agenda. Any changes? Seeing none, we have a resolution for that, please.
That the September 11th, 2024 special council meeting agenda be approved as presented.
Mover and seconder. Councillor Wilson moves. Councillor Cerna seconds. All in favor? That is carried. Next, I'll ask for disclosure of any pecuniary interest. Seeing none. We'll proceed then with the next item on the agenda is our public meeting. So we have a meeting, actually, of the Committee of Adjustment for to consider a minor variance. So could we have the resolution to call the meeting to order?
That the Committee of Adjustment for the Township of Malahide be called to order at 5:32 p.m. and that Mayor Dominique Giguère be appointed chairperson for the Committee of the Adjustment.
Thank you. Mover and seconder, please. Councillor Cerna moves. Councillor Leach seconds. All in favor? That is carried. Okay, so the purpose of this hearing is to consider an application for minor variance as submitted by Abe Giesbrecht relating to the property located at Part Lot 15, Concession 8, Parts 1 and 2, and known municipally as 10735 Hacienda Road. We have Mr. Steele with us. Welcome. Good afternoon. Could you provide us with an overview of the application, please?
So this minor variance application for committee this evening seeks to facilitate the construction of an accessory structure, specifically a pump house on the subject lands to support the current industrial building that is currently under construction. The application would permit an accessory structure to be built in the front yard of the property, as well as permit the structure to be built within 5 meters of the front lot line, whereas the zoning bylaw requires a minimum distance of 15 meters. Staff have reviewed the application against the 4 tests of a minor variance application, which are set out under Section 45 of the Planning Act, and find that the application would maintain the general intended purpose of the official plan, maintains the general intended purpose of the zoning bylaw, is minor in nature, and represents desirable development for the subject property. No comments have been received from agencies or the public since time of submission of this report, and so staff are recommending that the application be approved, subject to standard conditions. And that concludes my presentation. I have questions from members of committee.
Thank you for this overview. Before I move to comments from the committee, I'll ask if there are anybody, the applicant, have any comments or anything to add to the overview. Yes. Yes, please.
Oh, good afternoon. My name is Michelle Hammond, and I'm the applicant for the minor variance application on behalf of Abe Giesbrecht. It was a really good summary. I have no questions at this time, but I'm here to answer any questions.
Thank you for that. And now to members of the committee, any questions or comments? Councillor Wilson.
I hope this is the end of it. I hope we don't have to be back in here regarding this property or any other things that are going to be happening. I hope like everything's been submitted, everything's been hopefully looked at, and I hope that this place will be opening up so we can start collecting taxes soon. It's the biggest build we've had in the township in a long time, and it's been delayed repeatedly, and I'm hoping that there's no other reason to talk about this again other than to say, here, you're allowed to go in, and then we can start collecting taxes. Thanks.
Thank you for that. I should also check, Clerk Adams, have there been any additional comments received from the agencies or landowners not outlined in the summary?
No additional comments have been received.
Okay, so if there are no further comments, then I want to thank everyone in attendance for your input on the application, and I will now ask the committee to make their decision on the application. Clerk Adams, can you read the resolution to that effect?
The report number DS 2441 entitled Minor Variance Application of Abe Giesbrecht relating to the property located at Part Lot 15, Concession 8, Parts 1 and 2, 10735 Hacienda Road be received, and that the Township of Malahide Committee of Adjustment approve application number D13 MV 0524 to permit the construction of an accessory structure, specifically a pump house on the subject lands to support the current industrial development. And that the approval shall be subject to the following conditions. One, that the owner applicant obtain the necessary building permit within 2 years from the date of the decision to the satisfaction of the chief building official, ensuring that the approved variance applies only to the proposed accessory structure as illustrated within the application. And that 2, the structure be constructed as per the details shown in the drawings as provided with the application, site location, and architectural detail to the satisfaction of the chief building official.
Thank you. We have a mover and seconder for that motion. Deputy Mayor Widner moves, Councillor Wilson seconds. Any further comments or questions? Councillor Wilson?
They have to get a building permit for this thing now? Is it not part of the building going on?
Mr. Diaz?
Through you, Madam Mayor. The building permit application is currently going on, so right now we just need this in order to fulfill the requirements also for an occupancy permit. This is just general conditions that are typically put forward for any sort of minor variance.
So we're using the generic wording of the conditions, so yeah, but thank you for clarifying. I think the permit this is contributing to the permit that is in progress.
Mhm.
Yes, so there's not a new application that will be needed. Councillor Glinski.
Madam Mayor, what kind of a timeline are we looking at before the gentleman gets his building permit?
Can staff comment on that? Mr. Diaz?
From my understanding, it looks like this was one of the final requirements that were needed from the last inspection. That being said, we're expecting this to, there really shouldn't be any further sort of delays with regard to any further inspections, unless there's anything new that's being built or, brought to our attention. So we're expecting this to move forward very quickly.
Mr. Steele, actually, could you also comment on the process that affects the timelines? Because I think we have to allow for a appeal period from the public, correct?
Through Madam Mayor, yes, we're currently provincial legislation to provide a 20-day appeal period for any minor variance application. So we'll be coordinating with building staff to ensure that everything is ready to go once immediately as soon as that appeal period is concluded.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
We're looking at 20 days plus.
Sounds like 21 day, like the 21st day.
For legislation, so.
Per legislation. So this is not it's not something that we can accelerate or that has any discretion attached to it. Okay, so we have a mover and seconder. There's been further discussion, so I'll ask for the vote. All those in favor? And that is carried. So we have no further business for the committee, so can we adjourn the meeting of the committee, please?
That the Committee of Adjustment for the Township of Malahide be adjourned and the council meeting reconvene at 5:40 p.m.
Mover and seconder, Councillor Glinski moves, Councillor Cerna seconds, all in favor? That is carried. So we're back in our meeting as council, and we have no further item on the, further items on the agenda, so can proceed with the confirmatory bylaw, please.
That bylaw number 2448 being a confirmatory bylaw be given first, second, and third reading and properly signed and sealed.
Mover and seconder, Counselor Wilson moves, Counselor Cerna seconds, all in favor? That is carried. This takes us to adjournment. May I have the resolution, please?
The council adjourn its meeting at 5:41 PM.
Mover and seconder. Deputy Mayor Widner moves, Counselor Wilson seconds, all in favor? That is carried. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to staff for the special meeting and have a nice rest of the afternoon and evening.